You at the bottom. The enemy got you at the bottom, acting like you at the top. So I'm not, nothing wrong with stuff, but why you worshiping stuff and posting it? Can I get some personal development stuff on? Can I see you growing in your house? Can I see you and your wife, you and your kid? Can you just be honest with me about some of the hell you're going through? Willie Moe, when you put the picture up and you was crying, I was like, praise God. When some other man who's showing all this stuff, all he got coming out, the Louis with 10 bags, why do I care about 10 bags? That ain't about to do nothing for my life and my soul. Why you keep showing me your car and your stuff? You might really be there. Can you show me how you got there? Without putting a price tag, can you show me how you got there? Without turning it into a program and selling me a program and you only giving me the piece of the doggone program, you ain't even really giving me the real. Can you stop manipulating me and just tell me the truth like God bless you? Can you bless me like God bless you? Why everything gotta be attached to money? Why? Because Let's go. So the first one, I just want you to see where you are and be real if you didn't flip this joker. But trust me when I tell you, when you get to the top, they all gonna become. And why? Because when you get to the top, you start elevating past them. So the people that just own money, you can pass them up. The people who just own security and finances, you can pass them up. The people who just want to be down, they just want to be below, they want to just be in the crew, they just want. You know how many people I said no to because I know they would give me a great opportunity and I know they would give me a lot of money, but they would take me off track. So I said no because I don't want to be off track. Good, let's go. Come on, I'm sorry, y'all, let's go. All right, we're gonna walk you through these. I'm trying to be nice and walk through this. All right, so I gotta ask you a question. Who's your bully and why? I want you to think about it right now. Who's your bully? Who are the people in your life that's bullying you? We're gonna stop it today. They bullying you. All right, I got you. So I want you to think about it, for real. Write that down. Who's your bully? Who are the people that are bullying you? You tired of it? Just be real. How many of you in here, I know you macho men, stop tripping. I know you macho. You a man, don't trip. But how many of y'all feel like, yo, you got some bullies in your life? Let me see your hand. You got some bullies in your life. There are people or situations that are bullying you. People in situations that are bullying you. By bullying, I mean what? You don't have the control. Either they have it or it has it. Let me see your hand. Be real. Come on, write it down. Bullies. Right? Now let's be honest. When we say the word bully, for many of you, how many of you that has a negative connotation? Let me see your hand. It has a negative connotation. You don't like it. Good. All right. So what I want you to do is right now, we're going to, you geek with Jesse. You geek. Jesse was talking, you was geek. Jesse said he did this, he did that. You was like, oh yeah, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. You was pumped up, right? But you will never be able to do it because you have a negative experience with bullying. So because you don't like bullies or being bullied, you can never be demanding. So we gotta fix this. So it's gonna be difficult for you to do it because when you're supposed to do it, you're gonna be like, I wanna call, I can't, then you call, then you hang up. So you can't be demanding because somebody was demanding to you and you don't like the way that feels, so now you're not gonna be demanding. So that's why I said low hanging fruit. Watch this. Overcoming a bully, it doesn't happen at the bottom with food and safety and finance. Overcoming internal struggles, that's self-esteem and self-actualization. You see why I'm telling you gotta climb it? Now, if you could go into the Louis store and pay to get your self-esteem, and that's what people try to do. They go buy stuff, they wear stuff, and they like, look at me, don't I have self-esteem? That's fake self-esteem, it's not real, it's artificial, it's GMO, it's genetically modified, it's not good for you. Sean is not real food. It's not real food. It's not real food. Cheetos is not real food. Everybody like, why we got cancer in America? Because you eating stuff that ain't real. It's not real. I went to the Juice Nation the other day. They made me collard greens, kale, cucumbers, celery, and some other mess. I drank that stuff, was like, ugh, disgusting. My body was like, thanks, bro. Let's go. So when you go buy that purse or get that car and you drive it around and it ain't a car no more, it's a symbol, you got a self-esteem issue. I just want to help you. If your car ain't transportation, if it's more than transportation, if it's you get out so people can see you, then you have not gotten to self-esteem and self-actualization. And I want you to know that's where all the richness is. All the other stuff, that's where, when you want to go to, when you really want to experience life to the next level, you got to get to self-esteem and self-actualization. All that other stuff is not going to take you to where you're trying to go. When you get past those first three and get self-esteem and self-actualization, you're going to have more energy for you. And you're going to be able to tell people no. You can't tell people no when you got low self-esteem because you're still trying to please them, make them happy. So you really trapped. You're really a slave when you care about what people think. You trapped. You will never experience success. And you wonder why you keep getting up and it's like Groundhog's Day. You keep experiencing the same thing because you haven't gotten to self-actualization. That's the top. That's where we're trying to get to. We're not trying to get to money, clothes, and stuff. We're trying to get to who am I? All right, so we got to address this bully, right? So what I want you to do when you go home, I want you to like, why can't you stand this bully? Once you come to grips with that, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna stop attracting people that manipulate you because they know somewhere in you that you ain't gonna be demanding if you had to be. They gonna run all over on you because you don't wanna be demanding. You don't want this life. I'm sorry, you want this life. You don't want this grind. You want this life. You don't want this work. So listen to me very closely. I have what I have because I'm willing to do what others aren't willing to do. Like, and don't think because I speak, like don't think because I'm number one in the world, like I ain't still human. And I ain't still got demons I'm wrestling with and stuff. I'm trying to, but somebody got to fight these demons. And I can't leave it up to the pastor. Somebody got to fight these demons. And I can't leave it up to my wife. Like some of you are for real, like you so weak. Some of y'all praying. You've been praying for 6 years and you the same husband. It ain't no way you talking to the creator and he didn't bless you and you still the same. It's not possible. It ain't no way you talking to the creator that has all power and you the exact same. It's not possible. Some of y'all want to be D's. You want to masquerade like D's because you want to be a boss. You want to be, look, no, you're not a boss. You just bossy. You ain't no boss. You just bossy. Ain't no real boss. A real boss, they don't talk about their boss, but when the fire come, they go in on a sneak tip and they go in and rescue stuff, pull stuff out. You hear what I'm saying? So I had to get out of my emotions, right? I was in my emotions. And I had to go like, all right, leave that to C. C make all the decisions. All right, E, from now on, all you worry about is the experience. When people walk in, that's your job. When we get on the phone, make sure you're on the phone. Now, C is a leader. I'm a shepherd. So if you're an I, write it down. You're a shepherd. You're not a leader in the sense of results, but you are a shepherd in that you get results through people. So when you're a shepherd, you got to come at it a little different. Like shepherds are different. Shepherds are still leaders, but shepherding is different than leading. Does that make sense? A Hitler is a leader. Martin Luther King is a shepherd. Winston Churchill is a leader. Mother Teresa is a shepherd. It's a difference. They lead differently. And so for all my eyes, I want you to look up a book. It's called A Shepherd's Look at the 23rd Psalms. I want you to take a look at that book. All my eyes, I want you to take a look at that book. A Shepherd's Look at the 23rd Psalms. Now watch this. If you're dealing with somebody and they met you for the first time when they're in a relationship with you and you gregarious and then something happened in the relationship and you go all the way down to poise, like that's the difference. And so a lot of you be tripping like, why people tripping on me when I get mad or because they don't know who you are. You like night and day. You so emotional that when you're doing good, you're giving them 100%. Then when you go down, you're giving them about 60-some%. That's a different person. A 99 is passing the class with flying colors. A 60 is you failing. And what I didn't realize is I got programmed that day. Now that day in of itself didn't have to program me, but for whatever reason, I wasn't aware of what happened. So when things changed between me and my mom that day, it's like whenever I'm doing well, I'm like, let's go. But when I'm not, I withdraw. So now me and CJ getting into it, and we're not agreeing on stuff. And all of a sudden, I go from me and C hollering at each other to me withdrawn. Like, I'm talking about, I was grown. I remember being grown. I remember one time I was in Orlando on the phone talking to my mom, pacing back and forth in the hallway, and we getting into it. And guess what? When we would get into it, it would get so heated that we would hang up on each other, and then we wouldn't talk for about a month. So that's how I used to, like, that was my, whatever. And it probably be quiet as kept. I have to ask my mom, but she probably, her mom probably did it. Right? So that's what I picked up. So I didn't know it, I wasn't aware of it. But when me and C would go whatever, I would do this right here. Didn't even realize I was doing it. So I was doing it in my relationship with C because I didn't heal with my mom. At that particular time, I didn't. I would do it with my wife. I was doing it with everybody, right? And so I had to realize, like, yo, E, just because you get into it with somebody, y'all can still talk. But me and my mom, when we would talk, I'm talking about when, like, we didn't agree with each other, especially when I found out that, like, yo, you didn't tell me who my mom was like, I was gonna tell you. So she probably would have, but I was 12, and I'm not saying I was right, but the way I internalized it, I'm very what? Come on, I'm very what? So I took it like, oh, so you just weren't gonna tell me? Like, I never like, now we grown, I've talked. My mom explained to me like, yo, you was a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was a child. You had no way of understanding like this, that, but you're 12 years old, you ain't putting all no pieces together. You're not doing that. I'm emotional. Now, had I been a C, I probably would have sat down with my mom and been like, you know what, let's kind of talk this through. For real, because that's what a C is gonna do. They want a reason. An S want a reason. I'm an I, I'm just emotional. Like, oh, you lied to me, I'm ghost. Like, oh, you lied to me, I'm out. Oh, so you screaming and hollering at me because you don't like, I'm out. Right? So we would just go back and forth and back and forth. So listen to me very closely. You are a superhero, but you also a villain. The things that make you strong also make you weak. So I want y'all to do me a huge favor. This is not about coming to some conference and going, I know some stuff. This is about going home and transforming your life. Your DNA, your genetic information is in your dreams. I look at school and I'm like, yo, the way school is designed is it's designing you to be prepared to work for somebody else. Do me a huge favor. Don't go after low-hanging fruits. Here's the deal. If you get to the top of the tree, all the fruit from the bottom at the top is going to be there, son. So I don't need you focusing on cars and money and stuff. You're going to get that. I need you to focus on why you were born in the first place. Why are you here on earth for this particular time? What are you doing here? There are those of you in this room, you spend a majority of your life doing what other people want you to do. You don't even know who you are. And so even what you're doing, you're not doing at 120% because you're doing what somebody else wants you to do. You're not good enough to be somebody else. So the first thing I need you to write down is, and I just need you to be honest, have you spent a lifetime following other people's dreams, a mixture of their dreams and your dreams, or your dreams completely? I want you to write it down. Come on, we gotta go to work. We gotta go to work, because if I can get you to identify how much energy you put in others and in other people's dreams, and I can get you to pull back, and I can get you to do what you were born to do, what you were created to do. Whew. Now, why is dreaming important? I don't care what level you get to. I need you to dream, right? I need you to, guys, I need you to spend a considerable amount of time dreaming every single day. Let me tell you why. I've noticed that the people who dream and those people who dream big have a different kind of life than the people who don't dream. So if you in here and you like, I'm scared, whatever you do this for me. Do not sabotage yourself with fear. Fear is not real. That's something in your brain. Like, it does not exist. How do we get over it? You get over it by dreaming of what you can be. Come on, y'all got to hear what I'm saying. There are those of you in this room, you spend a majority of your life doing what other people want you to do. You don't even know who you are. And so even what you're doing, you're not doing at 120% because you're doing what somebody else wants you to do, and you're not good enough to be somebody else.
Raise your hand. Eric, it's probably been my whole life, I probably follow other people's dreams. I don't really know what my dreams are. Raise your hand. I don't really know what my dreams are. Come on, high. We're gonna overcome today. I don't need to play. Come on, I'll say it again, put your hands down. I want this, right? I want real, and I want full ownership of it. Eric, I probably have never even lived my dream before. I've been busy living other people's dreams. Let me see your hand. Hands down. And be real. I've been like maybe 50-50. People's dreams, my dreams. Let me see your hands. Good, hands down. Good. So this is what I need from you, for real. This is what I need. This is number one. Tier one, we just at dreaming. That's it. And it's all about you. And I need you to be selfish for me. I'm gonna need you to be selfish, right? And don't feel bad. There's some of you in this room, you feel bad about dreaming. Let me give you an illustration. If my mother calls me and says, son, I need help with my car. I think she called Carl. I love it too. She must be stressed financially because it was 400 and she said it was 500. I was like, I don't think it's 500, I think it's 400. She's like, I think it's 500. I was like, call Carl. Carl would know. Carl was like, look at my record, it's 400, right? If I didn't have 400 to give, if I didn't have $400 extra to give to my mother, she wouldn't have the vehicle she's driving right now. I want you to hear what I'm telling you. If I didn't have an extra 50,000, I'm sorry, 25. If I didn't have an extra 100,000 plus, I wouldn't have been able to pay for my son to go to school cash. So I need you to be selfish on the first tier, and that's dreaming. I need you to be real selfish because you can't help anybody else. You can't do for anybody else if you hurt. And the reason why my messages keep getting stronger and stronger is because I'm not at school, I'm healing. Every year I'm healing, I'm cleansing, I'm becoming a better human. And so as I become a better human and I have less junk to deal with, and I've been through some stuff. You think it's cute when I tell you I was homeless. You think it's cute when I tell you my father wasn't in my life. You think it's cute. My mom just wrote her book and my mom told me to my face, son, I hated your guts for months, for years because of that book. I'm like, Mom, what do you mean? Like, I didn't say nothing about our family. You told the world that I got pregnant with you when I was 17. I didn't want nobody to know. Imagine growing up in a house where your mother has set up a lie and changed your last name. And giving you a life that's not really real, it's fake, it's not real. And my mom is 60-something, she just let go. So I need y'all to do me a favor. I need you to be selfish on the dream piece. Because what you have to understand is when you know who you are and you start operating that, you're gonna start blessing people in a way you couldn't bless people before when you didn't really know who you were. So I want you to identify it, right? And so you told me which one you were. Now I want you to write all three down again, and I want you to write down which one you wish to be. What I want you to do when you get home, all right? Put 30, first 30 seconds. I don't want you to do this now. I don't want you to do it in the car and get in an accident. All right, so we're gonna go home, find a quiet space, 30 seconds, right? You're gonna put a timer on. I'm challenging you, it's homework time. You've been inspired, you've been given information. We need to empower you, right? All right, so the first thing I want you to do, not leave the 30 seconds alone. First thing I want you to do is write a name of the person who's gonna hold you accountable. This stuff is not good. Find a person that you can call and be held accountable. Of course, we're doing a cruise, but on this cruise, first thing they ask me is, who's the point of contact? In case of an emergency, who is the point of contact? So I need you to have a point of contact. Who is the person that when we do this worksheet, you're going to actually call them and tell them what you're supposed to be doing so they can hold you accountable the first 30 days, the next 60 days, the next 90 days. So for the first 30 seconds, I want you, everything that we said today that came to your mind, for the first 30 seconds, I want you to write it down. No excuse. Put the clock on, 30 seconds. And the reason why I'm not giving you 5 minutes, because if it came up in the first 30 seconds, it must be what? It must be important to you. So a lot of stuff was said. You don't need all of it. For 30 seconds, I want you to write down everything that comes to your mind. 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds. Now, after that 30 seconds, guys, right, we're gonna take 30 minutes, all right? We're gonna take 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, I want you to check your motives. And nobody's watching, be real. If you're just trying to make money, write it down. That's it. You just like, I just want a car. I just want a house. I just want to pay off my bill. Just write it down. Write your motives down. We got 30 minutes, 4 things. The first one is motives. You're writing your motives down. I don't care how pure your motives are. In that 30 minutes, I want you to add a pure motive to it. A pure motive. So for me, it was, I don't want my children to go through what I went through in terms of my father. Now it's the Nobel Prize. So once I got that one, I didn't stop. Now the next one is the Nobel Prize, because I have to keep writing something down. Now I didn't say more money, I didn't say a bigger house. I went to the next level of what I was doing. So that next level. So then after I said Nobel Prize, I said, okay, E, you can't win the Nobel Prize in 8 things. You gotta pick something. What is it gonna be? I said the school system. So every city I go into, when I finish doing my work, we're gonna hit a school. I need you to write something down. So if you pay off your student loan, good. But then we're gonna take it to another level, all right? The second one is, I want you to write down in that 30 minutes, you're giving yourself a time frame, you're coming out. I don't want you overthinking this thing. I want you to ask yourself, how do I measure myself? Who do I use? Is there another speaker? Is there somebody else in a different industry? Like, how do I measure myself? So I run 6 out of 7 days, 7 out of 7 days. I try to run and do this like mountain climbing thing that I do. After I finish, I get on the scale. So anytime I run, now when I don't work out, I don't do what? It don't make sense. For real, some of y'all on the scale, you ain't doing nothing. What would you get on the scale for? You feel me? Like, E, you measure yourself today? Nope. Why not? I didn't work out. I'm already knowing I'm gonna be chunkier. I'm for real, like why get on the scale? So I need you to, what do you measure yourself by? Who's the person? And then I need you to make sure that the measurement is correct. All right? I need to make sure the measurement is correct, right? Because if you're not careful, right? And my wife's back there, she gonna kill me. But if you're not careful, right? There's some women, when you go to the airport and you look at a magazine, you compare yourself to the magazine. Is it BMI? Is that how you say it? Is that what it is, BMI? That's not even your BMI. Genetically, that's not even where you come from, right? And my wife will be working out and she doing her thing, and I'm like, boo, be careful. And she like, why you want me to be careful? I'm like, yo, cause some of that stuff, I wanna hold on to that right there. So like, if you gonna lose, try to lose in your neck or something. Like, just being real, lose in your neck. Like, now you on my stuff now. You know what I'm saying? You going out your zone now. You in my lane now. There's people paying for that. You know what I'm saying? There's people they paying for that stuff, right? Hold on to that. Cause I don't know who you measuring yourself. I don't know, you ain't gotta worry about what 8 other people think. You ain't married to 8 other men who might want their wife to be 110 pounds. That's not who you married to. You married to me. This is what I want. And I don't think you good. Now you can work out for your health if that's what you want, but some dogs want meat on their bones. I'm the kind of dog, I want a little meat on my bone. I don't want a bone with nothing on it. So you gotta be careful who you measuring yourself against. Some of y'all measuring yourself against the wrong person. You measuring yourself against ET as a speaker. You might not wanna do that. I've been this 20 years. You can't do something for 6 months and measure somebody that's been doing it for 20-some years. It don't even make sense. You need to find a dude on YouTube that just started 12 months ago and compare yourself to my man. All right, so who you measuring yourself against?
When I got my GED, I felt like I was on top of the world. I had done it all. I got my GED. I did what my father didn't do. I did what my grandfather didn't do. I got my GED. I was on top of the world. And when I went to Oakwood College, I got kicked out on academic probation, and it didn't bother me one bit. Why? Because I was the first one in my family to go to college. And I sat in the college classroom, and I had the experience. Nobody in my family had ever graduated from college up to that point, so it wasn't even that deep to me. Why? Because nobody had ever done it. I was just geeked that I was the first one to make it happen, that I could actually say I sat in the class and I knew what the classroom was like. I actually took tests. I ate at the cafeteria. I slept in the dorm room like I felt it. Watch this very closely. What was so crazy was when God saw this, right, before I even saw this, right? And so he said to me, not only are you going to go back to school, you're going to get a PhD, you just don't know about it. But what I'm going to do with the 4-year degree, with the master's degree and the PhD, what I'm going to do for you is what I did for Inky. It's not about school, it's about the process. And so I need you to wake up every morning at 3 o'clock and pray. It has nothing to do with just praying. I want you to become obsessed with the process. And the reason why some of you will never get to where God would have you to get to, you'll never get to where you want to. And I'm talking about true fulfillment. And let me tell you something, I've had money. Don't let them fool you. For those of you who running up behind it, I promise you, you can have it and still not be happy. And so when I got my GED, I thought I was on top of the world. And God says, you have no idea, son, how I'm going to use you to change this world. You have no idea. So because you have no idea, because the dream is too deep for you, it's too rich for you, you could never understand it as a 17-year-old, as a 21-year-old, as a 30-year-old. What I'm going to do is put you in school so we can ignite the process, because nothing else happens until the process happens. So the Inky Johnson we see today began at 7 years old. And your problem is your dreams you are no closer to your dreams because your process hadn't started. You wake up every single day and you chasing money. You wake up every single day and you chasing stuff. You wake up every single day and you chasing this business and that business and this business, and you have not gotten yourself to the point yet where you are waking up to the process. And I would wake up and I would have to write and it would break me, and I would have to read and it would break me. I was on my way here today. My son sent me something, and unfortunately, he sent it in a way where it's small. I'm trying to lift it up, and I'm going back and forth, and I'm reading, and my wife is like, oh, your reading is killing me. I could feel her spirit. I'm like, it's okay. I still got to do it, though, because the point in this joke is fire, and so I got to give it to you. Normally, what I would do is I would read it once or twice on my own, and then come into people's presence and read it. So when I was in school and it was feeling uncomfortable, God was like, son, it's okay that it's feeling uncomfortable. This is a part of the process. I'm grinding you. I'm stripping you. I'm molding you. So when you finally get to be the #1 motivational speaker in the world, I don't have to strip you down because I've already stripped you. And for many of you, your stripping process is not happening because you're about money and really not about the dream. You're not really about the dream. You're not really about that life, because when God's begin to strip you, like Inky said, as he begins to strip you, you run. When he starts to prune you, I said, you pruning me? I got a GED, you pruning me? I ain't on the block no more. You pruning me? I'm married now. You pruning me? I'm back in school. You pruning me? I ain't in the hood no more. What are you doing? I'm doing what you telling me to do. He said, that's why I'm pruning you. Because I don't prune things that don't bear fruit. I don't prune things that don't bear fruit. I prune things that bear fruit. Why? So I can get more out of it. And you want to stop at the 4-year degree? You have no idea, son. This is not about you. You selfish. This has nothing to do with you. You ingrate. This has nothing to do with you. I'm using you for my purpose and my will. And we got a whole lot more stripping to do. So #1, leave the doggone dream alone. That's not your business. You don't know how long you're going to be alive. You have no idea what condition you're going to be in a year or two from now. The dream is not your business, but the process is. And so I want you to look at the next 24 hours of your life, the next week of your life, the next month of your life. And I want you to wake up every single day, and I need you to have a process. Inky had a process. Inky did the same thing every single day.
8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, high school football, college football. He did the exact same thing, guys. Watch this, watch this, watch this. I read his story, y'all. It blew my mind. He lost everything in one day that he had worked for his whole life. But in fact, he didn't lose anything because what he thought he was supposed to have wasn't what he was supposed to have anyway. And many of you, at the point of being broken, you shatter.
The reason why I did take control in the beginning is because I realized, y'all, I'm struck. Kendall was with me. I'm walking down the street. I'm seeing homeless. Like, yo, I can't even enjoy. I'm such a flamingo. I can't even enjoy this life, y'all. I can't even enjoy the way I'm living because I'm looking at people like, yo, this how you living? I'm walking up the street. We ain't no homeless. I'm seeing people's hands. I'm seeing hands distorted. I'm seeing people walking in the street with no shoes on. They feet pus coming out there. I'm seeing women laying on the ground. I'm like, God, how am I living like this and they living like that? I can't even enjoy it. So I came up with take control because I took control. And I'm like, yo, I just want to help other people to live this life. In the country we live in, like, yo, it ain't set up like that. It's kill to be killed. But I'm just being real. Africa is a beautiful place, but Africans ain't benefiting from Africa. Africans ain't benefiting from the gold over there and the diamonds. It's snakes, it's sharks that's benefiting from it. The people that live there ain't benefiting from it. And it's enough, it is, whether you believe it or not, it is enough for everybody. That's just how it was set up. It really is. But there are those of you, and I ain't talking about lazy people right now. I'm talking about good people like my mama who put in 30 strong for Ford. My mother was a good woman. My mom made sacrifices for us to go to that company and didn't get what they told us she was gonna get. I ain't talking about people who don't go to work and people who ain't got no dreams and people who ain't got no goals. I'm talking about my father, who unfortunately wasn't my biological father, but he raised me. And somewhere around 22 years at GM, he got multiple sclerosis and they got rid of my man. It was called a buyout for 100 grand. My man gave you almost 30 years, you gonna give him 100 grand? How long you think he gonna live off of that? He was making 90 a year and you gave him 100. I'm talking about sharks and snakes. That's snake. Get a man what he worth. I'm not telling you to make him a multimillionaire, but give my man what he came to work every day. He grind for y'all. Get cash my man out. You ain't got to give him your money, but you wouldn't have had what you had without him. Give my man, he went to college. Give my man, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here, y'all. I'm not here to get paid. I don't need y'all to make my money. I make my money on my own. I'm a pastor. I don't ask my church for no money. I don't need their money. I make my own money. I do what I gotta do to do what I need to do. So I'm telling you why I'm here. I'm here because you good people. And some of you ain't where you wanna be. You good people. You doing the right thing, but you ain't living like you're supposed to be living. So I need you to write down when you get up out of this joint by the end of this year, like, for real, man, just in this area, I gotta do better, bro. I can't keep living like this. Write it down. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. All the information we give. Now, that's why I'm saying this because, and do me a favor, don't be cocky and write down all the stuff that you winning at. We know you winning there. Give me the stuff you ain't winning at. I just had an NBA player call me a couple minutes ago and I was like, impressed with my man because I'm like, yo, you in the league. You could just fake it like you where you want to be. But I like the fact that you called me and was like, I need you. I got you. We're going to get you back to where you need to be. I got you. But there's some other people that probably need to call me, but they on that cocky, boy, I'm in the league. Just because you in the league, I just left the league. I told a group of guys to be honest with me. I was like, yo, be honest with me. How many of y'all here, but you ain't here? They said, what you mean by that, E? I said, come on. Your whole life you wanted to make it to the league. You wanted to buy your mama a house. That's all you ever wanted to do, and you did it. How many of y'all ain't really, really here? And about 45, 50% raised their hand and was like, I don't even practice the way I practice. I put more energy in getting to the league than I'm putting in being in the league. So you looking at them on TV like they made it. They ain't make it. They ain't got nothing else to live for. Mama got the crib. It's over. They listen to me. They are operating like a lot of you. They just on pure talent. And until somebody more talented they come, they gonna be out the league once that other kid come who's just as talented. But Bron ain't going nowhere, because for Bron it ain't about championship. It's something way bigger than that. And that's what he playing for. And some of you, your problem is for real. You kind of maxed out on me, right? So come on, write it down real quick and then we're gonna get going. Write it down for me. I got something, man. I've been studying. I promise y'all, I'm a student. She said reverse engineer about 2-3 years ago, and I've been doing it. I finally found the thing, y'all, right? Write though first. Write down what you need. And then like I told you, when you write down what you want, and please do me a favor, just if you don't know but 1 or 2, fake it and give me a couple more, because the anointing is gonna be thick. And you're gonna be hurt that you only wrote 2 down, because you're gonna have the 2 and then you're gonna be mad that you didn't put 6. So just make some stuff up and put it to the side for me. For real, you gotta understand, because I'm not here for that, we about to take you to a whole nother level. And I've had to grow to help you, because I was on that flamingo thing for a long time. I can't help you with just being that. So I had to add some other stuff to my repertoire. Don't get mad if I ain't just screaming and hollering the whole time. We're gonna scream, come out. I'm just saying, because if I go all turtle on you, you're gonna fall asleep, right? And that's what you need, but you're gonna want the eat. So I'm a turtle, come out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work it for you, right? But whatever you wrote down, separate it from what you about to write. Separate it. Write that, what you want, take that away, put that on the side, and then listen to me. When I say something that's an action step, when I say something that is a system, you know you can use this to take to that, write it next to whatever your dreams and goals are. Because everybody got dreams and goals, but they don't have action steps to go with it. So what I'm discovering about people is you know what you want, but you don't know how to make that happen. So you're getting great content. It's some people for real. They giving you, I'm gonna talk about it in a little minute, but they giving you some great what to do. But the challenge is, because you're not the right person, you're not gonna be able to do it. So we can come in here and like give you all the right stuff, and you only gonna probably use 5% of it, 3% of it. But if you were to use 100% of what you need, what you heard and what you need to take you to a whole new level. So let me read this. Now either this is the truth or not. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That's what they say. Either they lying or you doing something wrong. Now you can die and say they lying. Or you can make the adjustments you need today and say this is the truth. It's really on you. But everybody ain't living, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created. I flew first class the other day, the big boy with the lay down. I walked in, there was one black in there, and that was me. I ain't see no minorities, I saw all Caucasians. I ain't mad at nobody, but it ain't, I didn't see this. When I go to the Greyhound, when I drop my cousin off at the Greyhound, I promise you, it's looking like Wakanda in that joint. I'm like, we in Wakanda, but I thought this was the Greyhound. What happened? I'm looking for Black Panther to jump out that sucker at any moment. I'm like, where my man at? Because this is straight Wakanda right here. I'm not prejudiced. I ain't mad at nobody. I'm just telling you that I don't always see this. So that's why I do what I do. I do what I do because I don't see this. And my mama told me when I was a kid, live with integrity, don't lie. So somebody lying. All men apparently not created equal. Everybody not created by God and given certain unalienable rights. That ain't the truth. Endowed with certain powers. Apparently somebody lied. God lied, they lied, whoever wrote it lied. So what I'm trying to do in this room today is I want to fix this. Raise your hand. You like, E, for real, I don't have all the stuff I know I should have. I'm not living like I should live in every area of my life. Just raise your hand. Let me see it. Yeah, that's what I want to work on today.
Masters have proof. So what proof do you have that your stuff works? We all want to go. I won't even go to a movie without looking to see what the reviews are.
We don't do gentle here. Why? Because the kids I'm talking to getting shot at. The kids I'm talking to want to commit suicide. They don't got time. They don't got time for gentle right now. They in a war zone where I come from.
nobody about to pay you that. So I'm saying, yo, you playing yourself. You so desperate that you get desperate. Now you trying to charge people a whole bunch of money. Come on. So when people ask me, how much do I charge? How much you got? So let me just be real. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Lack is an indicator that you aren't adding significant value. So peace is which part of your life, like which part of your life do you have to handle to get to a place of peace? Say it again. Okay, home. You said home? Yeah. Let's go deeper. So you use the word spiritual. That's good, broad, but spiritual. What else? Okay. So when you hear the word peace, you hear the word gentle, joy, like that. So that, watch it. That's character. All right. You get to a place like you're not screaming, hollering, arguing. That's your character. So the first thing I try to teach people, the first thing you have to deal with if you're going to build a foundation is you got to start with a solid one. So you start with your character, right? So when you start talking about the past and how the past affects the future, that's a character issue. That's saying there's a part of your character that you didn't fix. Why? Because you're talking about the past. So if you're talking about the past, that means that there's something in your character you didn't do. Now here's what America tells you to do. And it's really a setup for failure. And they want you to be set up for failure because they make money off of you when you're not whole, when you're not healthy. All right, I'm whole because my character is intact. So I know people who living in a 2-8, and there's nothing wrong with living in a nice house, but there are people living in a house that they can't afford because they're trying to impress a group of people who don't even like them. That's a character issue. What's the issue? You have affirmation problems. Something happened in your life where the people who were supposed to be there to take care of you didn't take care of you the way you thought they should take care of you. So now you need to be affirmed by people you don't even know. So you got to fix your character first because it doesn't make a difference how much money you make. If your affirmation is not in order, you'll get the money and spend it all to impress people. So the first one is character. All right. The second thing we talked about, what was the second thing we talked about? I said, in order for you to be rich, you have to do what? You have to add value. Right? So I told you there's a way to know in the relationship if you're adding value. Right? There's a way to know. Right? Let's just use this number. I'm not saying it is right, but just watch me. 50-50, all right? Now, that's not the truth, but 50-50 would be what kind of relationship? Symbolically, what kind of relationship would that be? It would be an equal, right? But in a lot of our relationships, it's 80-20, which means that somebody's doing what? And then somebody's doing what? Okay, good. So somebody's giving more, somebody's taking more. When you hit 50-50, right? So watch this. I told you, get your character right, then add more value than you take. If you are a taker, then that means you're being, what's the root of that? That means you're being what? Selfish. So when you're being selfish, that just means you're looking out for whose interest? Yours. That's why you selfish, because you're looking after self. You're not thinking about that other person. So when we start saying stuff like, I want my kids to, so that they don't, then we being what? Selfish. Now you think you coming from a good place because you're a parent, but you being selfish, right? Let me tell you why you're being selfish. If I was to ever say I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through, that means I'm being selfish. Why? My kids ain't going through what I went through. Why would you even think they're going through what you're going through if you're there for them and wasn't nobody there for you? So you're thinking about your life and what happened in your life, and you don't want them to do what you did. They couldn't do what you did if you wanted to because you're not even giving them an opportunity to do what you did. You're being selfish. You focusing on your past and what happened to you. You're not focusing on their future. I'm just being real. You want somebody to be like grit and grind and resilient. But you put them in a school district where they never had to have a fight. How am I supposed to fight when you didn't give me an opportunity to fight? You talking about your life when you grew up in Detroit and you was going to school and having to fight. We didn't have that.
So I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but if it's something you want me to do, you're gonna have to help me because you never put me in a position to do the stuff you're talking about doing. And it hurt as a father, like, whoa, I did. I stopped you from fighting because I used to have to fight, and I didn't want you to go through that, but that really did make me who I am today. So now you want me all of a sudden to grind, but you gave me stuff, but now you want me to grind. You gave me stuff, but now you telling me he like, bruh, you gotta help me. I'm not saying I don't want to do what you're telling me to do, but I'm just gonna tell you, you didn't prepare me. So when we say we don't want our kids to go through, they ain't going through what we went through anyway. So you're being selfish. So when you start talking about this person ain't gonna do this, maybe I didn't do that, but you're being selfish. And anytime you're being selfish, it's never going to produce abundance. You're never gonna be blessed. So when people ask me why I do what I do, I don't lead you in the wrong way because I understand that if I do that, I could get some quick money, but I'm not into quick money. I want to build a long relationship.